Good morning, dear friends. Last lectures we have learned about what is the stator inductance and the rotor inductance for non-salient pole machine, and what is the mutual inductance between stator and rotor. And we came to the conclusion that if we consider our stator inductance, the stator and rotor inductance for non-salient pole machine, there is rotor is so uniform, all the rotor circumference is uniform. Therefore, the rotor inductance and stator inductance, it will not vary with respect to rotor angle. At the same time, if we use mutual inductance with respect to rotor angle, this mutual inductance will vary. Whenever the rotor angle is 0, mutual inductance is maximum. Then the mutual inductance is rotor angle is 90 degree. Then mutual inductance will be 0. Then negatively maximum for 180 degree. Like that, we have drawn the waveform as well. So in this lecture, we are going to learn about what is the magnetic flux linkage, how one can derive this magnetic flux linkage when the rotor is salient pole and rotor is uniform. So that how the stator is uniform but rotor is salient pole, how one can derive this magnetic flux linkage when the rotor is excited. So when the rotor is excited, automatically stator flux will be induced in the stator. So what is a flux linkage in the stator? That's what we are going to derive today. So for this, we have, let me share my white screen. So now this is your entire system of stator, and this is our rotor. The rotor is having this is a rotor is here excited, so current here is entering and current here leaving, so that magnetic flux will be maximum in this direction. Here magnetic flux is positively maximum, here the magnetic flux is negatively maximum. Then this is the stator flux linkage. In the stator side, in the stator side we have current is entering here and current is leaving here. Current is entering here. So if we excite the stator, magnetic flux will be maximum, and this side positively maximum, in this side negatively maximum. As of now, we are only exciting the rotor and we are not exciting the stator, and we are going to see how the magnetic flux density in this region. So now if we excite, let me take another one color. If we excite the stator rotor, automatically magnetic flux will start to flow like this and entering into this rotor slot, stator slot, and coming to here. Similarly, then another one magnetic flux density can be come here and it will move to here. So now this arrow mark which shows this is the positively maximum, then this is the negatively maximum magnetic flux density. Now let me take, this is the circumferential angle which we are going to analyze. It will start from here, alpha equal to 0, then this is alpha equal to 190 degree, so this is a 90 degree, then 270 degree, then 360 degree. Now if you draw the magnetic flux density line, so this is the magnetic y-axis is magnetic flux density and x-axis is circumferential angle. So this is our magnetic flux density. Let me take here, this is 0, then this is 90, this is 190, then here it will be 270, then here 360. Like that, 0, 90, 190, 270 and 360. If you draw the waveform, normally if you see here, this magnetic flux density will be maximum in this region. magnetic flux density will be maximum, positively maximum. In this region, magnetic flux density will be negatively maximum. Then in this region, gradually it will reduce to 0. Here also gradually reduce to 0. So we can have assume this is our total. Let me take this is the rotor angle of theta r equal to 0 degree. Here it will be maximum. Then it will gradually increase. Then here gradually reduce to 0. Then again magnetic flux maximum will be here. So this in this space we have maximum. Then again it will gradually reduce like that. That it is a practical case. But in theoretical, in ideal case, for analysis purpose, what I am going to do, I am eliminating the place where we are having increase or decrease in magnetic flux density. Only I am concentrating where the magnetic flux density will be constant and maximum. So now this is your alpha. Now let me distribute equally. Therefore, this is your for case 90 degree. Then again, this is the case of 1 minute. This is the case of 90 degree. 90 degree. Then this is the case of 190 degree. Then 1, 2, 3. After that, 270 degree. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. After that, this is our 360 degree. If you draw the magnetic flux density in this region, magnetic flux density will be maximum. Maybe you can take from here 1, 2, 3. Okay, maximum. Then it will come down. This is the case. So magnetic flux density will be maximum here, middle of 90 degree maximum. Then these two sides we can show maximum, positively maximum. Then again 190 degree is fine. Then it will come to this place where magnetic flux density 270 degree. Along that it will be maximum like that. So this is your magnetic flux, maximum magnetic flux density Bm. Now, alpha, this entire circumferential area, this is alpha is starting from 0, 90 degree maximum, then 190 degree 0, then 270 degree negatively maximum, then again the 360 degree, then the same sequence will be repeated. So at the same time, if you take, let me take this this negative side also, so that you can understand when I write this Fourier transform. In this case, this is 1, 2, 3. So this is your minus 90 degree. This minus 90 degree, what happened? Magnetic flux density will be negatively maximum. It will be negatively maximum. This is the case which we are going to analyze. So if you see here in this magnetic flux density, first we have to write this Fourier transform. What is meant by Fourier transform? Magnetic flux density in the circumferential area alpha is nothing but summation n is equal to 1 to infinity an into cos n alpha plus bn into sin n alpha. So if you see this waveform is, if for let me take this is 0, f of minus alpha is nothing but minus of f of alpha. That means waveform is odd symmetry. Waveform is odd symmetry, odd function. Therefore, we have minus f of minus alpha equal to f of minus f of alpha. So this is, so that this we will call it as waveform is odd function. So in this odd function, automatically an component will be 0. Then if you analyze very clearly, this waveform is half wave symmetry. What is my half wave symmetry? Half wave symmetry is nothing but f of alpha equal to f minus f of pi plus alpha. So if you take this place f of alpha, f pi plus alpha is here minus f of pi plus alpha. So that this is called as waveform is half wave symmetry. half-wave symmetry. Initially, the waveform is odd function, so that odd function, therefore, odd harmonics only exist. Then this waveform, when we analyze it, this waveform f of alpha is equal to minus f of pi plus alpha. So for this waveform is odd function, what we will write, Bn is nothing but 2 by 2 pi in the integral 0 to 2 pi b of alpha into sine n alpha into d alpha. Then if you take this half wave symmetry, waveform is half wave symmetry, what we will write? We can write 4 by 2 pi. We can multiply by 2 once again. Then integration starting from 0 to pi b of alpha sine n alpha into d alpha. Now this function is symmetric about 90 degree. Symmetric about 90 degree. What is mean 90 degree? F of pi, f of minus 90 equal to f of 90 minus alpha equal to 90 plus alpha. Both the cases half wave waveform is symmetry about 90 degree. Therefore, we can again multiply with Bn by again 2, so that 8 by 2 pi symmetric about 90 degree. That is why 0 to pi by 2 90 degree, and b of alpha into sine n alpha into d alpha. B of alpha n sine n alpha into d alpha. But if you take this waveform is from 0 to, let me take this angle as gamma, till that there is no output. So we can write this case equal to 8 by 2 pi integral 0 to gamma b of alpha sine n alpha d alpha plus integral gamma to pi by 2 b of alpha sine n alpha into d alpha. So b of alpha in this region is 0. So we can have Bn equal to 8 by 2 pi into integral gamma to pi by 2 sine n alpha into sine. So this, the value of B alpha is nothing but maximum magnetic flux density. Therefore, B alpha I am writing maximum Pm. So sine n alpha into d alpha. Let me take this integration. Therefore, integration of sine is equal to minus cos. Therefore, we can write minus 8 Pm by 2 pi, then 2 pi n into cos of n pi by 2 minus cos n gamma. So if you take this sine of, we can write, if you take this minus inside, so 8 Pm by 2 pi n into cos of n gamma minus cos n pi by 2. So this is the magnetic flux by considering odd function and considering waveform half-wave symmetry. Then it is symmetry about 90 degree. Accordingly, we end up with Bn equation is nothing but 8 Bm by pi into sulfur. So now, if you take this, let me take once again, let me write first once again this equation, that Bn is nothing but 8 Bm by 2 n pi into cos of n gamma minus cos of n pi by 2, and n is varies from 1, 3, 5, etc. Since this is odd function, odd function, so odd harmonics will be present. So accordingly, if we write B1 is nothing but 8 Bm by 2 pi into cos gamma minus cos pi by 2. What is cos pi by 2? 0. Therefore, minus, we will have constant is 0. Therefore, we can have 8 bm by 2 pi into cos gamma. Similarly, B3 is nothing but 8 bm by 6 pi into cos 3 gamma. So if we substitute n is equal to 3, we will take this equation. Similarly, B5 is nothing but in 8 bm by B5, we can write 8 pm by 10 pi into cos 5 gamma. So this is the equation. So now let me write all this equation in this d alpha. D alpha is nothing but 8 pm by 2 pi into cos alpha, cos gamma plus 8 bm by 6 pi into cos 3 gamma plus 8 bm by 10 pi into cos 5 gamma plus etc. Now, if you take it as n is one variable, we can write this equation 4 pm by pi summation n is equal to 1 to infinity. So, odd values, how we will write odd values? Cos of 2n minus 1 into gamma into let me, one more variable is there. In this previous equation, we have one small mistake. This is our B3 equation. So when we write this B alpha equation, we have derived this odd function. Let me take this B alpha once again, write it. So B alpha, what we have write it as summation n is equal to 1 to infinity Bn into sine n alpha. Bn into sine n alpha. So now we have substitute here B1, B2, B3. Accordingly, we can write it as sine of alpha, and so we can write this value as b of alpha equal to what we can write n is equal to 1. What is that? B n is equal to 1, 8 pm by 2 pi into cos gamma into sine gamma plus 8 bm by 2 pi, so 8 bm by 6 pi. This is the B3. So odd functions only it will come. So 6 pi into cos 3 gamma into sine 3 gamma plus 8 bm by 10 pi into cos 5 gamma into sine of 5 gamma. So now totally we can write in this summation form. So B of alpha equal to, I have taken 4 bm by pi as outside, then summation n is equal to 1 to infinity. N is varies from 1 to 3, 135, varies from 135, so that we can write here cos of 2n minus 1 into gamma into sine of 2n minus 1 into alpha divided by 2n minus 1. So this is the magnetic flux distribution, magnetic flux waveform in Fourier transform for the salient pole machine when this salient pole is excited. At the same time, normally in this previous diagram, we can have this flux linkage. Flux linkage, how we will calculate? Let me take another one, waveforms of magnetic So this is the stator winding, and again the stator have inside this another one winding. So this is our stator, and this rotor is placed here. Rotor is placed here. Rotor, this is okay, fine, and the rotor is placed here. Now, this alpha circumferential angle, alpha will start from 0. Alpha is, you have to start from this angle. So let me take the elemental area, how the magnetic flux density in the elemental area. For this, finding this magnetic flux in this elemental area, we have to write d psi s is nothing but number of turns. So let me take the flux will be hit in this inner surface of the stator here. Flux will be distributed in this invited circumference of this area here. Let me take the small angle. You can use another one, alpha. So this is your small angle. In the small angle, what is the magnetic flux density? What is the magnetic flux density in this small angle? This small angle, I will write it as d alpha. Write it as this small angle d alpha. How this magnetic flux distribution in this small area? So if you take this one, automatically magnetic flux line, magnetic flux density will be, normally we can write it as number of turns in the stator. Since stator flux linkage in the stator we are going to do, rotor is excited. Ns in the b vector dot da vector. B vector dot da vector. So in this case, this magnetic flux path and this area under the curve are parallel. Therefore, b vector dot da vector is nothing but b into da. So now, what is this area here? In this area is nothing but radius. Already we have derived previously. Radius of this one, radius of the rotor, the stator surface, inner surface, and the length of this surface. We have already drawn like this. This is the cylindrical surface. So this length is L, radius R, radius is R. Then this small angle d alpha. So that we can write it as Ns magnetic flux density into R into L into d alpha. So R into L into d alpha. Since this magnetic flux density distribution and this area are parallel to that, therefore dot product Ns into Br into B into L dA is nothing but BRL into d alpha. Therefore we can write here, already we have, so that B, let me take this way, d psi s is equal to Ns into d of alpha R into L into d alpha. Therefore, d psi s equal to Ns into, what is d of alpha? 4 Bm by pi into summation n is equal to 1 to infinity cos of 2n minus 1 into gamma and sine of 2n minus 1 into alpha, the whole divided by 2n minus 1 into R into L into R into L into d alpha. So from this, but normal cases we have taken the coil span here 180 degree. Normal cases coil span we will adjust according to the harmonics elimination. So coil span you can take it as beta. Coil span is, you can take it as beta. Therefore, psi is nothing. Psi as magnetic flux density is nothing but psi s is equal to integral alpha equal to 0 to beta. Beta is nothing. Beta is less than 180 degree. D psi s equal to integration of d psi s. If we substitute these values here, we can have this flux density waveform in this form. that cos of flux density waveform, we will end up with this equation psi s is equal to 4 bm ns r into L divided by pi into summation n is equal to 1 to infinity cos of 2n minus 1 gamma divided by 2n minus 1 square into 1 minus cos of 2n minus 1 into beta. This is the equation of magnetic flux magnetic flux in this stator. Then flux density is not this previous cases. Flux density is theta r will start from 0. So now if the theta r is increasing, rotor angle is increasing, automatically this waveform will shift like this. Now if the theta r is, this is for this theta r, then let the if the theta r is more, if this theta are equal to 0, if this one, if the theta r is equal to increases, this waveform will shifted for angle of theta, so that we have to write this flux density distribution is for, this is previously we have only b of alpha we have derived. For this b of alpha and theta, what is the equation will be b of alpha minus theta. That means it is varying with respect to rotor angle. Already told you, if for theta are equal to 0, it will start from here. Again, if the theta are equal to 90 degree, this waveform will be shifted for theta. That is why b of alpha comma theta are equal to b of alpha minus theta. Already we know b alpha we have already derived. So b alpha already we have derived in this equation. Let me copy from that. 4 bm by pi into summation n is equal to 1 infinity cos of 2n minus 1 gamma sin of 2n minus 1 alpha divided by 2n minus 1. So if suppose beta b of alpha minus theta, alpha comma theta, what we will write? Instead of alpha, you have to write alpha minus theta. So that's all. So therefore 4 bm by pi, the summation n is equal to 1 to infinity cos of 2n minus 1 gamma, the sin of 2n minus 1 alpha minus theta divided by 2n minus 1. So in this case, we have two variables, alpha and theta. In this case, we have a two variable, alpha and theta. So that now we are going to for entire coil spin. We have already understand what is the magnetic flux density in this small area. So that magnetic flux density, magnetic flux linkage for whole area 0 to beta, entire coil span is nothing but d psi s. Already we have derived this d as d psi s already. What is the d psi s in this previous equation? We have d psi s we have already derived. D psi s is nothing but 4 bm by bm ns divided by pi into summation n is equal to 1 to infinity cos of 2n minus 1 in the sin of 2n minus 1 alpha divided by 2n minus 1 into L into R into L into R into d alpha. Now for psi s is between, for this alpha, how we will write here? Instead of theta alpha, we have to substitute alpha minus theta. When you substitute it and derive this equation, we will end up with this equation of magnetic flux linkage psi s is nothing but 4 bm ns 4 bm ns into then here when we are taking only harmonics of third order harmonics, fifth order harmonics, and seventh order harmonics. So when we take it, first order, third order, fifth and seventh order, this third order, fifth order harmonics are very less when compared with this first order. Then we have to substitute n is equal to 1, and we will end up with this equation. Is is nothing but 4 bm ns into RL divided by pi into cos alpha cos gamma into cos beta cos theta r, then plus sin beta sin theta r minus cos theta r. So from this we will end up with this equation of psi s by using this cos a cos b derivations. We have 8 bm ns 8 bm ns r into L divided by pi into cos gamma into cos theta, cos gamma into cos theta, so that we can write it as magnetic flux density psi m gap into cos theta. So let me conclude with this today's derivation. We have finally end up with only we have finally first we have analyzed that first order it is symmetry, half wave symmetry. Then it is a odd function. First we have found out from this odd function half wave symmetry we have found out. Then we come to know that it is symmetry about along this pi by 2. Accordingly we have derived this magnetic flux density. Then we have first we have analyzed for the small area what is a magnetic small angle d alpha, what is a magnetic flux density. Then for entire angle 0 to beta, why beta? Normally all we cannot expect all the time coil span is 180 degree. The coil span varies with respect to beta. For we can choose the coil span by choosing accordingly to reduce the harmonics content, so that finally we have ended up with this total magnetic flux distribution of the stator if the rotor salient pole rotor is excited 8 bm ns into r into L divided by pi into cos gamma into cos theta, so that we have psi m cap maximum magnetic flux density into cos theta. So this is the derivation of magnetic flux density for magnetic flux density of the magnetic flux linkage of the stator when the rotor salient pole rotor is excited. With this, I would like to conclude today's lecture. So the conclusion behind this is, first of all, we have analyzed what is the magnetic flux distribution of this whole magnetic flux density of the whole circumference, half circumferential area. So then for that, first we have derived what is the wave shape of this, how the wave shape of this magnetic flux density will be. Then we come to know that Fourier transform, and we derived it based on that odd function symmetrical about pi and symmetrical about pi by 2, then derived with this equation of magnetic flux density. Then we have taken one small angle of d alpha and find out what is the magnetic flux density linkage in this particular angle based on the magnetic when the rotor is excited. Then after that we come to know the whole coil span. So if we consider normally all coil spans are not 0 to 180 degree, it will vary with respect to less than 180 degree to reduce the harmonics content, eliminate the harmonics content. Already we have studied in the machine basis. So accordingly we have taken it as 0 to beta. Then this 0 to beta, what is the magnetic flux density, and only we have considered third order, fifth order harmonics are all eliminated, ignore as they are small values. Only we have considered this fundamental component, so that we come with this equation 8 bm nsRL divided by pi into cos gamma into cos theta r, so that it is very clear that magnetic flux linkage in the stator when the rotor is salient pole rotor is excited, it is varies with respect to rotor angle. So with this I would like to conclude today's lecture. In this next lecture I would like to explain how we will derive this mutual inductance between stator and rotor as well as the self inductance. Wish you all the best. Thank you.